Here we walk upon original territories of the Mississauga, Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Wendat, and Huron Indigenous peoples, recognizing their enduring presence. Canada's national parks are a compelling natural force that shapes our environment, the course of our history, and of the people who live and travel here. These wild places tell the stories of our natural beginnings. Mountains forming, lakes emerging, rivers running, forests growing, glaciers moving, grasslands evolving. They are a source of pride and inspiration for Canadians as a part of our identity, and they belong to all of us. Akami, Oapachik, Kakasawak, Mealy Mountains, Labrador. It is entirely untouched wilderness with no man-made facilities and is only accessible by airplane. Olivik, Northwest Territories. Located in the treeless, barren tundra, it consists entirely of untouched wilderness and can only be reached by plane and receives almost no visitors. Oyutukuk, Nunavut, is mostly occupied by mountains and glaciers, and once again can only be reached by plane or boat. Banff, Alberta. It's known for its large photogenic lakes and hot springs. It's one of the best known parks in Canada. Bruce Peninsula, Ontario. It runs into the Georgian Bay of Lake Huron. Canada's longest hiking trail begins in this park. Cape Breton Highlands, Nova Scotia. It's on Cape Breton Island, a forested plateau home to the scenic Cabot Trail Highway. Elk Island, Alberta. This park was designed as a wildlife preserve for buffalo and elk. Forillon, Quebec. Gaspé Peninsula, home to the Grand Grave Heritage Site with remnants of old 18th century buildings used by early French-Canadian settlers. Fundy, New Brunswick. Located on the Bay of Fundy, its craggy shore is home to the distinctive Hopewell rocks forged by the bay's extremely high tides. Georgian Bay Islands, Ontario. On the coast of Lake Huron's Georgian Bay consists of most of Ontario's Beausoleil Island and small portions of some other surrounding islands. Glacier, British Columbia. Located in the Rocky Mountains region of eastern British Columbia, it is known for its scenic Roger Pass Parkway, a masterpiece of early Canadian engineering. Grasslands, Saskatchewan. It consists of flat, dry, and desert-like terrain, complete with rattlesnakes and cacti. Gros Mornay, Newfoundland. This park has rocky cliffs, large beaches, numerous ponds, and famous hiking trails. Gulf Islands, British Columbia. Located on Vancouver Island, it has a variety of beaches and cliffs, as well as Pacific rainforest, and lagoons. You can spot whales, seals, and exotic birds. Guayhanas, British Columbia. Located on the southern tip of British Columbia's Haida-Gwaii archipelago, lush coastal rainforest, exotic flora and fauna has vast archaeological remnants of the ancient Haida civilization. Ivavik, Yukon. The northernmost tip of Yukon on the coast of the Beaufort Sea. It has a mountain range and flat, treeless tundra intersected by many large rivers. Jasper, Alberta. One of Alberta's 3 Rocky Mountain parks, known for its large lakes, scenic canyons, and the Athabasca Glacier. Kijimkujik, Nova Scotia. It has significant archaeological remnants of the Micmac civilization. Kluane, Yukon. Contains Canada's highest peak, Mount Logan, as well as the largest ice fields outside the North or South Pole. Kootenay, British Columbia. The mountainous landscape features enormous canyons and valleys, as well as large glaciers and hot springs. Kuchibuguwak, New Brunswick, consists of fjords and inlets from the Northumberland Strait. Diversely forested landscape is what it is known for. La Mauricie, Quebec, a heavily forested valley in the south interior of Quebec, known for its waterfalls and scenic trails. Mingan Archipelago, Quebec. Hundreds of small islands off the Quebec coast of the Gulf of St. Lawrence, with many islands that have rocky beaches and massive stone monoliths. Mount Revelstoke, British Columbia. This park is dominated by Mount Revelstoke, as well as the enormous Clachanaduyane ice field. Naatsicho, Northwest Territories, consist of untouched remote wilderness with no man-made facilities. Nahanni, Northwest Territories, consist of rocky, mountainous, and it's a home to the famously intimidating formation known as the Cirque of the Unclimbables, and can only be reached by plane. Pacific Rim, British Columbia. 2 thin coastal regions with a long beach and a west coast trail on the southeastern side of Vancouver Island. Point Pelee, Ontario. On the tip of the Point Pelee Peninsula, which reaches into Lake Erie, it has mostly marshland with multiple lakes, rocky coast, and some desert-like savanna areas. Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, consists of scenic, forested terrain with numerous large lakes, beaches, and rivers. Prince Edward Island, located in Prince Edward Island, is best known for containing a preserved home of Anne of Green Gables and used as a backdrop for many of the films. Kaskaskia, Ontario. On the coast of Lake Superior, it's famous for the coastal hiking trail that runs along nearly half of the park's coastline. Quasutuk, Nunavut, on Bathurst Island, and it consists of rocky bluffs, vast dry tundras, and ice-filled waters occupied by caribou, muskox, and polar bears. Kwiatinirpaak, Nunavut, the northernmost national park in the world, with mostly frozen terrain of mountains, glaciers, and iceberg-filled waters, often used as a base site for those heading to the North Pole. Riding Mountain, Manitoba. It is Canada's second most urbanized national park and has a large, clear lake. Rouge, Ontario. Running through the Ontario cities of Toronto, Pickering, Markham, and Uxbridge, it's the first urban national park. It has wetlands, rivers, and orchards, and a small beach at the park's narrow endpoint where it touches the coastline of Lake Ontario. Sable Island, Nova Scotia. Located in the Atlantic, far off the coast of Nova Scotia, it's known mainly for its population of wild horses and remnants of shipwrecks. Surmilik, Nunavut. It has remnants of Inuit villages, enormous icebergs, and exotic northern animals like walruses and narwhals. Terra Nova, Newfoundland. It has a mix of forest, beaches, and lakes, and a spectacular scenery. Thousand Islands, Ontario. The park actually consists of something like closer to 200 small islands in the St. Lawrence River. Torngat Mountains, Labrador. Dominated by the Torngat Range, which consists of Canada's highest peaks east of the Rockies and a craggy coast. Tukta Nogoit, Northwest Territories. It has a craggy, rocky, mountainous landscape of cliffs and caverns, and is intersected with many rivers. Ukasiksalik, Nunavut. The rocky coast and bay area is rich with exotic Arctic plants and animals, as well as a vast array of Inuit archaeological sites. Vuntut, Yukon. It is dominated by wetlands surrounding small lakes and is home to vast herds of caribou. It is very difficult to visit, even by plane, and receives very few visitors. Wapask, Manitoba. It's located on the coast of Hudson Bay and consists of flat wetlands into winter that become vast fields of frozen tundra in the summer, and is home of a large population of polar bears. Waterton Lakes, Alberta. It's known for its scenic hiking trails, waterfalls, canyons, and 3 spectacular large lakes. Wood Buffalo, Alberta and Northwest Territories. Mostly flat forested park, contains a vast array of natural attractions, including the impressively sized Lake Claire and Buffalo Lake and the large Peace River and sprawling salt plains. Yoho, British Columbia, on the side of the mountainous Alberta border, known for its lakes and rivers, particularly the Kicking Horse River. Each park is a haven for human spirit. They protect our natural habitats, our wildlife, and our diverse ecosystems. These natural jewels belong to the nation and the world, and to each one of us to enjoy and protect so that they will be here forever. Thank you.